We live. Check it out, man. It's your boy Beast P. I ain't doing that. I'm off the thing.
Is he on there?
No, not his face.
Is he on now?
Yes.
All right, y'all, check it out, man. It's your boy Beast P. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Make sure you go on YouTube. Make sure you live on another joint. We appreciate y'all out here on this Saturday, June 19th, 2022, for another edition of Polygamy, Share or Die Alone. I got my two lovely co-hosts, the lovely Miss Shanice. You can find her on IG at _the girl next door. And then we have the lovely Tisha. You can also find her on IG at Melanin Legacy. So today's topic is That's Our Man. What y'all feel about that, man?
I like the way that sounds.
I feel like this is definitely a trigger warning. Like somebody gonna be triggered today, and I'm with it. I'm on all the smoke.
Yeah. So before we go into it, I just want to, me, I like to bring up some type of stats. Let me call my assistant real quick. Azure, can you come back for a second? Yeah, I like to go into some type of, statistics. When we having this. So, we deal with a Black demographic, website, which I've been dealing with for a long time, and getting a lot of my statistics from. Also, you can go into the America's Census Bureau, and they all line up as well. So, this ain't something that just, you can just go on and just, think that a bunch of people just put something together, because that's not the case. So we're going to read up on a little something right here. Just the number of Black men to Black women ratio. Black men to Black women ratio. And it speaks about our second installment of the data. And this is collected between 2019 to 2022, right? It says our second installment of data regarding the Black single landscape looks at Generation X availability by salary and education, right? Then it goes on to talk about it, saying, as we continue to analyze data from the census, the public use micro data sample, or PUMS, what is known as, there are simply more Black women than men. According to these estimates, like I said, within the last 3 years, there were 609,599 more single Black women than Black men. I'm gonna say that again, 6,599 more single Black women than Black men ages 41 through 55. That's 2.6 million Black women to just under 2 million Black men. So, we talking about an unlikely higher income single Black millennials, and this disparity existed among single Black Generation X, every income bracket and education level above high school that has been measured. All right. So it says there were fewer than 250,000 single Black Generation X with average incomes over 100,000. Of that were 34,507 more women than men, or 133,508 women to 98,000 men. For other income groups there were. So we're talking about the reason why, sharing is the purpose of furthering the progression of the Black family. And before we get started, man, I'd like y'all to click the subscription button, hit that notification bell, share this live, because this is something that is going to be very, very, very pivotal in our community, man. We need to start having these types of conversations and these discussions and let your emotions out, all that, man. We're gonna get gritty and grimy, low down, gritty and grimy, like Onyx, baby. So that's why I said this is gonna be pivotal, and it's gonna be very, very important that we have these discussions. So again, make sure you like, subscribe, click the notification bell, because this is definitely needed. So what y'all think about those stats, man? You know, we're gonna start off with you, Shanice.
Yeah, those stats are very telling. So, you know, just to sum it up for people who are, you know, who are looking at the chart and thinking, basically it is more men. I'm sorry, there are more women than men everywhere you look in the country, everywhere you look in this country. So, you know, he gave a lot of big numbers. So I want to bring it home. Tisha, you are in Cali, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I pulled up some numbers. So I pulled up some exact numbers, you know, just so we can, you know, get to some real. So in Cali, in the 2020 census, there were 1.117 million men, Black men in Cali. And there were only 1.134 million women.
Wow.
So that means that there were, if every man only had one woman in their life, that means that there were 17,000 women who could not have a man if we operated off of one man, one woman, not dealing with no polygyny, only monogamy. 17,000 women. We are here in Atlanta. Myself, my husband, our co-wife, my co-wife, Anya, we're here in Atlanta. Everybody know that Atlanta is the Black Mecca, okay?
True.
This is Black America here. So in this same 2020 census, it said that there was 114,170 men here in Atlanta, compared to 133,588 women. So that means that there are 19,418 women who are destined to be single if we operate off of only monogamy. It don't add up.
No. And that was never supposed to be the standard regardless.
No.
Historically, this is something that's more of a westernized situation. Even if you want to take it biblical, because people love to take it biblical, they have plenty of wives in the Bible. And I mean, I just like to keep it all the way real. And I don't feel that it's in a man's natural nature to be with one woman. I feel that it's something that's westernized, but also a selfish trait of women to feel like he's mine, he belongs to me, which is really not the divine alignment, I guess you can say. Like we belong to a man. A man answers to a higher power. He does not answer to us. Of course, he values and appreciates what we have to offer, what we have to say, but he's not your child.
No.
He's the king. He's the leader.
He's borrowed.
So, exactly.
He's borrowed. We're nothing on this earth. I know when I came into my polygyny walk with my husband, I did a little searching online and I couldn't find much. But one woman in her video, she said, nothing on this earth belongs to us. Everything is borrowed, from the trees to the earth to the air. Everything on this earth is borrowed. Nothing belongs to us individually. So why in the world would we think that a man belongs to us? Like, I call dibs on this one. This one is mine. Nothing belongs to us. So
I understand, but I do understand, because when it's good, you want it to keep being good to you. So I do understand, but you can't let that control you. You can't let that be selfish to your fellow sister that also needs to be loved correctly. And for me personally, my perspective is, if he's loving me correctly, why wouldn't I want to be able to discuss that with somebody else that's always that's also experiencing that?
And that would tie into like a lot of the Christians who speak about, you know, those that follow that, you know, the biblical way of living. They tell you you're supposed to love your neighbor as you love yourself. It also tell you that there's no greater love than a man or woman that would die for their neighbor. So if you are looked upon to have to die, to go to the extreme of dying for your fellow sister or your fellow, then truly, or sharing, you know what I'm saying, the man, because whatever you have for yourself, you will want that same thing for the woman that's your sister. If you see that there's a widely disproportionate amount of women to men, I mean, of men to women, you know, and you see that that's an issue, why would you not want that woman that you know, that's your neighbor or your sister, why would you not want her to have that? You know what I mean? And understanding that there's a shortage of men. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? What y'all think?
You know what? And I want to bring it right into what you're saying. Like you took it as deep as dying for one another. But something as simple as food. We need food and water to live every single day. So, like you said, Tisha, when you got something good, you want to hold on to it. But let's think of it like this. A man is not food and water, but he is food and water.
Yes.
Okay.
Preach.
All right. So if I'm hungry, I ain't ate in days, weeks, months, and I got this full meal in front of me. I'm eating. It's good. It's good. I need it all because I ain't ate in weeks, months, whatever. I finally got this meal in front of me. But then I got this sister right next to me who also has not eaten in days, weeks, months. That is so fucked up of me to sit there and just be eating and drinking and eating and drinking. And she's sitting there like,
It's
I
selfish.
sure want something to eat too. Just saying, like, that is
Right.
selfish as hell. Like, could you sit next to somebody who is just as hungry, just as thirsty, and not share a meal when you know what it feels like to be thirsty and hungry in that same way?
Of
Like
course,
that,
but
that's how I gotta break it down to the simplest on the everyday.
of course, but we do, for one, we also want to be mindful that our position as the woman is to not control who he's picking, who he's pursuing. By the time she's brought to us, he's already vetted her. So, well, at least if you're picking the person to lead you, the man to lead you correctly, he has already, seen what he needs to see in order for her to be brought into the family. So therefore, you should have some level of ease and trusting that he knows how to pick another mate as well.
Because he picked you.
Exactly.
Because he picked you.
Yeah, and so that takes a lot of security within yourself. That takes a lot of trust within yourself. That takes a lot of burying those old wounds and burying those those insecurities and things of that nature that men have to be responsible and say that we contributed to that as well. And it's a thing where as though if in this society everything has been so broken, you know what I mean? And with things being so broken, it's kind of hard to reboot, so to speak. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard for women to reboot and allow their guard to be let down and become vulnerable. And so with that being said, when that situation approaches, that's why I hear a lot of women say, "I'm selfish. I can't do that. There's no way." I see a young lady, a couple of them come on my comment board, say, I'll die alone. You know what I mean? I'd just rather just die alone before I share my man. But what you're not understanding is he's not your man. That whole ideology of that, now this is the same man that before you met him, he was her man. Before he was her man, he was her man. He done been partners with my man's, you know what I mean? If however many relationships he been in, he been somebody else's man. So all you doing is basically, you leasing out a vehicle. You renting out, you going to Enterprise and you renting a car at the time that you in it. You know what I mean? You servicing it and you using it. But then after that, that's it ain't your turn no more. And even if you say, well, yeah, I rented it from Enterprise, but guess what? I chose to buy it. Okay, so you bought it. So you bought a used vehicle, and so you have it now. Okay, and so what are you saying that now it's my car? But guess what? We share everything in life, but something when it come down to your man, because you will share your vehicle, you will share whatever it is that you have. But when it comes down to that, you don't want to do it. So we gonna get into more stats, man. What else would y'all like to discuss on when it come down to that? Because from a woman's perspective, both of y'all perspective is totally different than the norm. You know what I mean? So what type of flack do you catch from having this mindset when it come down to being polygynous from other women, whether it's your family member, friends, whatever the case may be?
Oh, they just don't understand. They don't even understand how my thought process could go towards something as far as poly. But just to back up just a little bit, even as far as women saying that they don't understand why a man would want multiple women, a lot of us are not a virgin. You've given yourself to someone prior to coming into this relationship. This isn't the man that you're with that took your virginity. You didn't stay with that person. You didn't stay a virgin. So someone has also been with you. So if you really believed in monogamy, you would only be with one person in your lifetime. So, but as far as people not understanding my perspective, I don't really bond too well with women that don't understand poly, just to be all the way honest. I don't even too much discuss it unless I'm asked. I'm not ashamed or anything like that. But sometimes I'm in settings where it's like I have to understand this is a monogamy setting and just leave it at that. But as often as I can, I try to bring the awareness, because I just don't understand what the issue is personally. But what do you go through?
I would say when I first entered into the poly life, it was definitely, particularly from women who've always known me, who's like, why would you choose this? Like, you fine, you smart, you do. Like, you can have your own, like, why would you choose to do this? And what I learned in that process was that it was because they themselves could not picture themselves doing this type of lifestyle. It was a lack of understanding and a fear and a selfishness that was in them. So I never really take it personally when I encounter women who disagree with it. But honestly, more and more from the beginning of my journey in this to now, when I do speak about it to women, I get more of a girl for real. Okay, tell me more. Not on some gossipy, but intrigued and wanting to understand, because I think women are really starting to realize, like, yeah, it's a drought out here. It's truly a drought. So maybe I need to switch my mindset up. So I've been getting a lot more embrace. Like, if y'all can see my DMs of women, coming in, asking questions and stuff, I think women are definitely coming around to it. But Ash, you definitely hit on something important. And Tisha, you said it too. It comes down to women who reject this idea, their confidence in being selfish.
Or they feel like women should be able to do it too. If men can have multiple girls, I can have multiple men.
Please tell me why that don't make sense to you, because yes.
Because I don't even really know how to explain it to them why that doesn't make sense. But I mean, like, you're a woman. Why do you want, you're not a man, you're a woman. Why do you want multiple men? You can't even handle that. First of all, half of y'all can't even handle having one man. That's why there needs to be another one on outside of the stats and the history. More than half can't handle a man to yourself, while you're sitting up here getting upset that a sister wife wants to come in, love you and him, as well as build a family foundation. So no, we don't need to function in that way. We need one man to love on us. He might need multiple, but you yourself, you just need one man. And I don't agree with that. That's not poly. If you're sleeping with two men at the same time, for me, it's a train. That is not poly. It's completely inappropriate.
I love it. And I had a woman just ask me that same question. Well, if he can have multiple women, why can't you have multiple men? One, I don't want to have sex with multiple men at one time. Let's keep it a buck. I don't want all, because we are vessels. We take in things. I don't want all of that coming into me. I don't want all of that. That's on the sexual side. But then on the day-to-day side, like you said, most women can't even handle the one man they got. Think about the duties of a woman. Think about the duties of a wife. We're not talking girlfriends. We're talking, wives, long-term stuff, family building. The responsibilities of a woman, a wife in a household, even if it hurts your feelings, guess what? It is to take care of the house. That means cooking, cleaning, laundry. That means taking care of the children, however many there are. That means baths and tending to and hair. That man, not just tending to him sexually, but also just tending to whatever it is that he, like, My
It's
husband, he
mine.
decided that we're gonna open up a restaurant. I'm not a chef, but guess what? I had to take that role on and learn how to do that to grow this business. So you got to be a partner to that man in whatever that dream is. So if you got that with one man that y'all can barely handle, imagine you having 2, 3 men that you got to do all that same stuff for. And to keep it balanced. It is not possible for a woman with the duties that we have being in our role to maintain multiple men. We would have to be like in a circus with 17 different arms, 5 different vaginas, 12 different brains. Like it just does not, it's not logical that a woman could manage that many men. Now, if we just talking sex, okay, that's easy. But actually being a woman, being a wife to multiple men and multiple families and multiple households, a woman just does not have that capability. Shoot, I'm in this house with just him and I be tired some days.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Even sexually, you cannot have it. You have to take an accountability, like your menstrual, your moods. On top of that, too many women, y'all just don't even feel like it. You just don't even want to do it because you just don't even feel like it.
Y'all lazy.
And he's supposed to wait.
We got to talk about that. Some of them is lazy in the bedroom. You're not even satisfying him sexually. That's part of the reason why he ain't happy with you and he needs somebody else.
Exactly. But then he's cheating because he has to wait until you're in the mood. Right. He has to wait until you're.
Right. He got to attend your sexual stage.
So, excuse me, can we take a break? Not a break, but can y'all go to my IG page? Are y'all available to do that?
Yeah.
Go to my IG page and then send me a request. I'm gonna pull you up on my IG page as well, so we can then tell them people over here and to like and subscribe. But that's a great point right there because you hear women say that all the time. Well, if he can have 2 women or multiple women, why can't I have multiple men? And I believe that people only do that, man, because they are women only say that. That's just like a mechanism to get back at you or whatever the case may be. Because truly, what woman can actually lay down with multiple men weekly, monthly, yearly? You know what I'm saying? Like if you living in a house, let me pull you in real quick. Hold on one second. Or send me a request, GR, and then also you send me a request too. Both of y'all send me a request. If I don't know no women, I ain't gonna say that. I do know some women. You believe that? I was about to say I don't know no women, but I do know some women.
Real women don't want to sleep with several different men.
Yeah, it's draining. It's draining. You know what I'm saying?
Because I be tired. You be having to be tired some days. I'm not talking sex. I'm talking about just being a wife. I be tired some days. Like, God damn, I'm glad it's her night. Cause
okay, honesty. And I mean, but that's all of us.
Did you send me a request too? You send me a request too?
No, I was sticking it in the chat on the YouTube, but I'm going to request you now. Yeah. But what I was going to say is, and that's the truth about it. And as a man, he should not have to wait. His body doesn't function on the same sexual urges as ours. That's why we're so precious, because we can wait. We can wait months. We can wait years. But I mean, in a man, they talk about semen retention and all of that. So of course, we don't want you just wasting yourself. But the natural desires of a man, he should not be waiting unless he's choosing to wait.
Yeah, I definitely need you to,
that.
I definitely need you to send me that request too, over here on this IG. And that's a big woman to be able to understand in totality what's going on in our community and how it is very important to the progression of the Black family to be able to say, you know what, I'm not going to be so selfish, be so self-centered to believe that he's only for me. You know what I'm saying? And then you see the situation out here, like you get the statistics where it's 609,000 more women, you know what I mean, than it is men. I like everybody that's watching us on IG, man, to please go over to YouTube, Polynomics. with Bees P. That is the page. Polynomics with Bees P. Polynomics with Bees P. Like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. Please do that for me. Again, go to YouTube, Polynomics with Bees P. BEEZ space P. Polynomics, POLYNOMICE with Bees P. But yeah, man, you know, that's why I said it takes a real woman to be able to set aside her own you know, feelings and thoughts when it comes down to that. And mainly it has, and then I will say it has a lot to do with the man, because it takes a real strong man to be able to make a woman you know, comfortable, confident, secure in all those ways, to where as though she can become comfortable. Because I'm sure even like within my own situation, it was, you know, for both of them, I'm very sure that it was, by the way, for those that are tuning in, the young lady down to the left with the long braids, this is my wife, Shiyar, of 6 years. My other wife of 20 years, Anna Yad, she will be joining us on another broadcast as well. And then to the right of the screen, lower right of the screen, is Tisha. You can find her on our lovely co-host on Melanin Legacy. So at MELANI, no, Melanin, yeah, MELAN Legacy, LEGACY. And then my wife, you can find her as _ that's THA next. I mean, the girl next door, and the next is spelled NXT. But again, go to YouTube, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. So, like I said, man, just give you an understanding that there's over 600,000 more women, 600,000 more women on the face of the earth, Black women, than men. How could one be so selfish and understand, and especially when you got children? When you have children yourself and you understand that you have a daughter, a son, we have to start breaking these
Stereotypes.
Yeah, these stereotypes, these ideologies, these traditions, because you see that there's the way that the earth is going. Y'all look on Instagram and look on all these pages every single day, and all you see is death. And you see a lot of death of the young Black male. You know what I'm saying? Cracked and took a part of my family tree. My mother's on this shit. My daddy tripping. Father said he blaming me. Is it my fault just because I'm a young Black male? Cops arrested me. Is this my destiny? Was making cracks there. Pop was talking about this way back in 91, 92? You know what I'm saying? Only 15 and got problems. Cops on my tail, so I bailed till I dodged them. They finally pulled me over and I laughed. Remember Rodney King and I blast on their punk. I mean, the hunt has been for Black males. If you're a Black woman and you got a Black child, you know what I mean, a Black son, you should be overly concerned for his well-being. And then you should, and then you should not look at him, and like most Black women do, a lot of times they take their hatred towards the father and pass it down onto the young man. And then if you're a father and you have a daughter, you know how you are. So why would you teach your daughter the way of the society and not teach her how you think? Because as a man, because I'm gonna tell you like this, my daughter, she's 19 years old. She's been in this thought process of polygyny for, you know, since 2010. You know what I mean? So since she was 9 years old, and all she's seen is me coexisting with 2 other women, and everything has been, you know, a smooth going process to the degree of understanding, because both women understood prior to getting involved that this is the life that they had to choose. So you could go, I mean, that they could choose or not choose. You know what I mean? When I brought it to them, you as a grown woman, you could have easily said, no, this is not something I want to do. But if you say yes, then this is something that you do, and you stick to it and you move accordingly. So that's what they chose to do, and that's how we've been coexisting. And I'm gonna tell you like this, when you in a situation like that as a man and you have a daughter, you ought to be teaching your daughter the ways of a man. You know what I mean? My daughter don't be, so she don't be in 16, 17 years old. You know, I'm thankful that she's 19 and she's, you know, not to be in a building, but she's maintained her innocence. You know what I mean? She has not yet dealt with a man.
She's 20. Give her credit. She's 20.
Yeah, she's 20 years old. Well, at the end of this month, she's 20 years old, and she still, you know, have not stepped out of her zone and given herself to no young man. Like I tell her, she's not gonna be believing. She don't believe that no man in her, you know, young boy in their 20s are gonna be totally ready and to be ready to be in a full-fledged relationship with her. Y'all women we got these daughters, man, and y'all let them go to high school and have these boyfriends and all. Y'all already setting them up for failure. Because if you're not teaching them and letting that young girl know, hey, listen, man, you can call him your boyfriend, but he don't deal with other girls. You see what I'm saying? If you're a father and you don't tell that to your daughter, and if you're a woman and you don't let your daughter know that, but you allowing her to go out and get into relationships at early as 17, 18. I see sometimes, you know, and I did it. You know what I'm saying? When I was 12 years old, I called a girl my girlfriend and all that, but I didn't have no mentorship over me to teach me that's not something that my mind should have even been going into. You know what I mean? I didn't have nobody there to teach me nothing and show me nothing like how I do now. So that's why I feel it's my job, not just only to my child, but to other people's children as well, to let them know that. Because to be in a relationship at such an early age, and then that's where heartbreak come in. Those are the founding building blocks of insecurity. Those are the founding building blocks of insecurity when you allow your teenage daughter, you know what I mean, to start getting into relationships, dealing with boys, and then have this whole fantasism of what actually is a true relationship between a man and a woman, that he's just gonna be with you. And if he don't just be with you, then he's a cheater and all this. Like you're talking about 17-year-old boys and girls. And then or 21, 22, 23, 24. Ain't no 21, 22, 23, 24-year-old. None of that is just gonna be with no one woman. It's just not gonna happen. And all you gotta do is just look around you. That's not the case. And then y'all call yourselves adults and responsible, but then you allow this to continue to go on generation after generation after generation, and you don't do nothing about it. So it starts and ends with me and anybody around me. And I'm gonna tell your daughter and your son, if they come around me, I'm gonna tell them the real. You know what I mean? Because you're not doing it. And so you're allowing them to go into relationships at such an early age and meet heartache and meet insecurity and meet doubt and meet distrust. So by the time they do get married or decide that they're going to get married, they're so ruined in the inside that the main thing that they're looking for all the time is distrust and infidelity and things like that. Like, you know, you're cheating, going through phones, digging through pockets, all that kind of stuff, all that nonsense that if it was kept real from the beginning and we have these type of discussions and you move your emotions to the side and deal with your logic and your rationale because of the fact of the way that things are going in this society, then we can have these type of conversations and women don't get so riled up about it to where though you start letting your ignorance proceed your knowledge or proceed your want for knowledge. So you're
So we do
ignorant.
have a question.
Uh-huh.
It's from I am Tessa Tierra. Thank you for the question, by the way. But it says, not to say that you're wrong, but why not teach our sons to be honest with women, no matter the age?
Let me chime in on that. So he spoke on it as a father to a 20-year-old daughter. You know, of course, he's my husband, but I had 2 children before I met him. So I have a 13-year-old, and I'm teaching him at 13, hey, if you like these girls, cool. I want you to like the girls, because with all of this agenda going on, trying to put homosexuality into our children, I want, son, love the girls, love the women. but I'm gonna need you to hold on. And I'm telling him from him watching my life, if you want to date more than one girl, when it's time to date more than one girl, you can do that. You have every right to do that. Just like women scream, my body, my choice, your body, your life, your choice. I just ask you to be honest with these girls when you talking to them and dating them, and do right by them to the best of your ability. And if they are not coming in under the understanding of your program of, hey, I'm gonna mess with you, but I might mess with her and her too. If she's not with that, get her from around you. So I'm teaching that to my 13-year-old son. Now of course, he's like, whatever, I'm not trying to hear it, but I need to pour it in early as possible, because if we don't pour it into them early as possible, especially in late elementary, early middle school, their friends are going to pour this stuff into them. So it's our responsibility as parents. So to our person with the question, this platform, we're speaking to the young boys as well in this. I know I'm personally doing that. I even got a 8-year-old who I'm telling, okay, like the girls, be nice to them. They all got cooties to y'all about 20 years old, but those talks are coming.
Yeah, and I tell to the young lady, I teach my son and all young men, listen, when you meet a woman, tell her up front, hey, listen, I like you. You know what I mean? I would love to be with you, talk to you, or whatever the case may be. But I'm letting you know off the rip, that in the process of me and you talking with one another, I'll try my best to just deal with you, or I'll deal with you until I decide that I may deal with somebody else. And if I do decide that, then I'll let you know, to give you the opportunity to say whether or not you want to still you want to still stay a part of something like that. So that is being taught around me, definitely in my household, and definitely around me to anybody, any young man that I run into. Men too, it don't even got nothing to do with it don't even have nothing to do with young men. It's men in general. I don't give a damn if you 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Women are going to have to wake up. And then I talk to women, they be like, well, do you think all men are? Not all men are like that? And I'm telling you, yes. I'm going to continue to say this. I talk to and run into more men than a woman ever will be able to. And when I'm talking to a man, he's going to be more honest with me 9 times out of 10 than he's going to be honest with his own lady. Because you can be and I always use the barbershop talk. We can be in a barbershop talking about everything that's smacked up against the wall. But the moment any one of them women walk into that barbershop, is mum's the word. It's quiet. And then when she walk out of there, we right back at the conversation again. You dig? Because your man ain't gonna tell you what he'll tell and keep it a buck with other men, because we comfortable. We know how we are. So I try to convey this to women and let them know, well, that's not all men. But guess what? I always say it. The man that's not like that, y'all don't want him because he's not, like my wife said on other program, everybody want, every woman, don't no woman want a man that don't nobody else want. Yeah, and I said, right, until somebody else want it. Because you want that man that got that it factor, that got that drive, that got that motivation, that is financially secure. But guess what? A whole bunch of other women want that man. A lot of other women want that man. And when you're talking about a disparagingly low, disproportionate number of men to women or for women, what do y'all think is getting ready to go down? That's why in the commercial with the young lady that was saying, sis, he's our man. Y'all gonna have to share that nigga. He's ours. Of course, because what are all these women that don't have no man, that are good women and looking for a good man, but that good man is, he's 9 times out of 10, he got somebody. So what are all these women that are single that don't have no man? What are they supposed to do? And you know what the answer is from a lot of women? I don't give a fuck. I don't care. As long as you don't mess with my man. And that goes to show you that there's no love within the Black woman community.
But that brings up when you say, like, to be honest, like, don't sneak, you're kind of bringing up what I like to speak against to a certain extent about there's not always a situation where he can just be honest, at least not right away. I'm not saying to partake in a situation where you're a secret forever, but sometimes there also is a humbling about yourself that you, as the woman that wants this man, has to deal with. He might be in a situation where she might not understand poly. Of course, he wants to bring this awareness to her attention because he's not going to live in secret for the rest of his life, not able to show you or discuss this. But to me, you have to be mindful of the fact that he may not be able to say that right away, or be that man that you see him as, or he sees himself as up front because of her. And there could be kids, there could be too much, because when women get upset, they love to try to ruin a man. He's not just going to be able to tell you, I discovered I was poly, I've been with her and you're woman enough to say, okay, of course my feelings are hurt because, for one, you kept this from me. For two, I thought we were being monogamous. But I understand, and I don't want to be a part of this. How are we going to figure this out so we can both go our separate ways? And I don't feel like there was nothing that I got out of the situation, even though to me, you should be building your own foundation for yourself as a woman. You shouldn't be relying on a man. But of course, most of the time, women don't like to feel like they're walking away from a situation where they feel like they invested everything. Like, I've given you kids, I've been laying down with you, you've been creeping on me, like I'm about to ruin you. So I'm just saying, I understand sometimes why they don't say anything.
I actually had a similar conversation with you, and I agree. I was speaking with a couple young women, and I told them, I said, y'all basically put men in a position to where they have to lie to you about what they have going on, their desires, if they have another woman in their life, because of your lack of emotional control. Like you said, using the children as pawns, just the fact that you'll ruin the whole house, you'll end a relationship when he really does want to be with you, but he also wants to have that option. Women put men in a position to have to, quote unquote, lie. And it's not a malicious lie, but it's more so to protect the foundation and everything that they have, because you as a woman are not accepting of it already, or coming in, or at least had those conversations in the midst of your relationship. Like, hey, we came in on this monogamous side, but is anything changing for you? And if it does, I want you to feel safe to come to me and speak about it, because I don't want to be left in the dark. Because I told my own husband, I don't want nobody to know nothing more. I don't want anyone else to know more about my marriage than I know.
Right.
So come to me and tell me what's going on, because what's going to make me feel some type of way is if something going on and you ain't come tell me, and it,
right.
Like that would
she able to just run it
I
down.
try to keep that lane open to come, because I don't want to put my husband, and I don't want you ladies to put the man that you love in a position to have to lie to you, because you only hurting yourself, because he only had to lie because of your lack of emotional control and things like that.
Yeah, if you don't create a safe space, he needs to have a safe space to be able to come and be honest with you. Of course, he's not going to tell you everything, but us as women, we don't tell them everything.
No, we don't.
It could just be something minute. It could be something that your child told you that's like, don't tell dad. So let's not act like we're just 100% transparent.
Exactly.
But they need a safe space. And first of all, it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month as well. Please, if you need to speak to someone, if you're going through anything, please don't feel afraid to find that safe space and talk to someone about whatever it is, poly or otherwise, because we want you to be level-headed.
Therapyforblackmen.org. Therapyforblackmen.org. And there's also therapyforblackgirls.com. Find you somebody in your area to help you through these, through your mental state issues. Because I know I sit on the comfy couch because I got to keep myself together, y'all.
Love it.
So, like I said, man, talking about just the idea that a woman feels as though she can't, if and they could have a whole group together, and the moment that she finds out that he's dealing with another woman, this is another, especially if y'all that then and you could have been putting in so much, but this is why men, like you said, it's hard sometimes for a man to come and be honest with a woman because that's why, man, and I'm telling you from a man, you know what I mean? That go back all the way. It's cheaper to keep her, because he's not going to tell you nothing because he knows that he'll tell you what's going on. It's like you go up and leave and you go everything, whether it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. We talk about what is, whether it's right or wrong. Build all kind of a world together. You got a house. You may have business. You may have some type of equity together. And so that man is not going to come in and at home and tell that woman what he's doing. He's just not. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm giving y'all the hint. It's not going to happen. And it's going to be. I look at it like I always say, the men don't because you are like, because you're not being
BSP, I need you to check your YouTube. I need you to check your YouTube.
Yeah, I know. But they're not being honest. And by the way, everybody that's watching like me, that's probably not click on, make sure you subscribe, notification bell live. Follow her at Girl next door, girl next door. So that's why I say, man, this is important to have these conversations because, like I said, man, nothing is going to change. This is going to continue to go on over and over and over again from me passing down to my sons passing down to their sons. But it breaks in my household though, because I live. So in my household, we're not there is no fakeness. Like I said, my daughter, she was 20 years old. She's not going to look over that experience of heartbreak and all that kind of stuff because of an ex. Usually heartbreak, but not heartbreak. It ain't gonna be because of that. Because it's gonna be understood. She already understand that what a man's nature is, and that monogamy is an option. Monogamy is an option. It's not a mandate. And that's what's going wrong.
Exactly. You'd rather be the secret. Mm-hmm. Because there's no real sisterhood. We talk like there's a sisterhood. We talk like we want the best for one another, but honestly, I don't feel that that's true.
It's
Me
not.
personally.
It's not.
Well, for me, I get the honesty up front because I'm coming out saying that I'm poly. I'm letting it be known that if you are, I create a safe space before we even, because I don't want to be led on, lied to. And at the end of the day, if you're already in something committed and you're happy, you know, she might just be too busy to give you the things that you need. There's nothing wrong with her. She just might need some help. She doesn't want to accept that she needs help. So I like to create the safe space so that I know what's going on. Because at the end of the day, if you're happy in your relationship, you're not leaving that relationship for me. To me, no matter how much I make you happy, is that something that can happen? Yes, but as a norm. Can you hear me? Okay. So usually they don't leave what they're already in for the other woman unless they're just really unhappy. But even me, what I stand for, I don't want you to leave her for me. You know, I'm really here for the sisterhood, but I want a good man. And if this good man happens to be with you as well, then that's fine with me because he's able to juggle it. A man is able to juggle all of this. This is what being a man is called. So like I said, I create the safe space for them to be honest with me and even honest in the fact that, okay, we can't be together anymore because she can't handle it. You know, she can't handle it right now. I allow that space for you to step away to figure that out. Because at the end of the day, if you want me, you're always going to come get me because I'm a safe space. So even I'm willing to wait. If I've been waiting this entire time to find a good man anyway, I don't mind having to wait a little longer for him, for you to figure that out. See if do you really want to give up this place of peace, of being honest with yourself over here to stay over there with that? That's not a question that I can answer for you, but I'll give you the space and the distance you need to figure that out. Because at the end of the day, I know I'm a good woman. And if you're not willing to sacrifice those things and be honest and be that man, I don't belong here because I need to be in an environment where you are being a leader. You being honest with yourself first and her second. And then you're bringing me into the equation and we are honest all together.
Well, you a good one because I know some women are not going to stop dealing with the man because the woman in his life is not ready for it.
Oh, I won't either.
I probably wouldn't be like, well, we could take a break until you get.
Well, I'm speaking from, I'm always in the position of staying in feminine energy. So what I'm saying is if he comes to me and he tells me this is too much for her, you know, she talking about running off with the kids, child support, whoop, whoop, if I don't leave you alone, hey, leave me alone. I'm gonna tell you leave me alone. I'm gonna help you leave me alone. Now, but if you come to me like I want you both, but she's not going to accept that, depending on how good you are to your family already and what you're doing for me, I'm going to be quiet and accept that as well. And you can call me a home wrecker. You can call me whatever you want. It's not like this is not what I'm doing for every man that's in my face. This is because I'm able to see already that you are who you say you are. You embody this. And most of the time, the long run of things, a woman usually talks herself out of the house anyway. So why do I have to put you out? You're gonna put yourself out. You're gonna talk your own way out of the house. Because y'all women, the divorce rate, most women are the ones doing the divorcing. Most women are the ones that are leaving. It's not the men. So he told you didn't accept it. You own 10, whatever. So he has to deal with the fallout of this. But I'm going to be over here still staying pretty, watering myself, waiting for him to come get me because I want to be there while you walking yourself on out the door. Thank you. So now I can replace you with a sister wife that understands, and you can watch this great man build the most best foundation that you're no longer a part of. But if you guys have children together, they're always welcome. And if you calm down, you're more than welcome to come to any event we're throwing.
That's a good mindset because at the end of the day, that's what men know. You know what I mean? We know that. So, you running across women, things like that. And I'm telling men that they're out here. Not thinking they're not out here because they're out here. Women think as such, they're out here. And you just gotta be real with yourself up front with the woman that you with, any woman that you encounter, and let them know what you this is how you are. It doesn't mean I'm not saying that man has to that's what I'm talking about. But there's still a woman that you can talk process that while we're together and you're talking about being with this man, but you're like that never gonna talk to or deal with another woman. That's a tendency.
Yeah, that's how I know you don't respect other women. I love women. Like we're all, it's like the rainbow. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean because he's with you? She's not beautiful. Like, what do you mean? You don't see other women and find beauty in her, from her hair to her skin to her eyes, just whatever it may be. So let's be realistic.
Now I got a question to pose. So for as far as the women who want to control the man. Oh, I had muted myself. I'm sorry. So I was saying, so as far as the women who want to control the man and control the relationship and say, well, you know what, I'm going to leave if he wants to deal with another woman, and things like that, or, I'd rather die alone and all these different things. Do you guys think that that's a form of a woman trying to emasculate a man and trying to do that with that mindset?
That she's trying to eat. I don't know if that, I would say that's, I wouldn't go as far as to say that because that's how she feels, that's her trying to emasculate the man. I would just more so say that that's her, how she feels because she's dealing in her own insecurities.
But even in dealing in it, is it still maybe a non-malicious, non-direct emasculation? I don't know. It just kind of popped in my head. Like you're trying to not make a man feel like a man. Okay.
Like we see in society. Like when you watch all these movies, and every time they now you see more and more, even with somebody like 50 Cent and Power, somebody a nigga like him that comes from the street, where he comes from. You know what thinking about anybody that mess with him, you know who the man. But then now you're implementing those type of relationships from a man in all of your movies and all of your series and things like that. That's intentionally done. That's an agenda. You know what I mean? And I'm not one that nobody eats on. I'm not. If that's your lane that you in, okay, cool. That's the lane that you in, and you as a man, if that's the lane you in, then you stay over there. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. But don't force. You don't try to. Like don't try to swerve into my lane.
I don't know. Maybe that's why I thought of emasculation, because I feel like that is a woman really trying to go into a man's lane. That's why I called it emasculation, because because that's a woman trying to go into a man's lane and say, this is what you can and can't do. You a man, but you my man. So I'm saying you can and can't go here. You can and can't do this.